Today, I decided to rate all the special mechanics in Ultimate. Every character's special mechanics that I included is on the screen without an X in front of them. Let's see how they stack up against one another. Oh yeah, and also, I decided not to include King K. Rool's belly armor, because then I'd pretty much just have to include every character's super armor in the entire game, so that's why I didn't pick him. Coming in at dead last, we have Pichu. His special mechanic is more of a handicap. It damages him whenever he uses electricity on his attacks. Combine that with his already very light weight, and you have a recipe for disaster. At the beginning of Smash Ultimate, it was worth it to use Pichu. For the damage that you did to yourself, you got kills from F-tilt and forward smash, and you got crazy combos. But, now that Pichu does a lot more damage to himself, as well as having a bigger hitbox, F-tilt being nerfed, F-smash being nerfed, pretty much everything good about him being nerfed, there's not really much of a reason to use him anymore. If I were judging in a vacuum, my opinion might be different, but the fact that Marth's tippers exclusively are what make him worse than Lucina is why I'm putting it in the number 14 spot. Marth's tippers are far too inconsistent. Even the highest level of Marths in the world struggle to land tippers a lot of the time. Not to mention that his dancing blade is very inconsistent, and although the tipper hitbox of the last hit is very strong, it's nearly impossible to land. If you're not able to land a tipper, your only get out of jail free card when it comes to killing from Marth is to land a Dolphin Slash out of shield. Except if you miss, you're just a floating Marth in the air who's probably about to be dead. I've decided to leave Lucario's aura unranked. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's not so good. If you're playing a character that's really good at killing early, such as Roy, then you won't see as much use out of it as if you were fighting a character like Sheik, who can sometimes struggle to kill. I'm not going to officially put it in the number 13 spot, but because a lot of Ultimate's top tiers can KO very early, I'm going to put it there on the tier list. In number 12, we have Robin with his Levin Sword and Spellbooks. While the Spellbook is technically a handicap, Robin's Arcfire, Thunder, and Jabs are so good that I feel like it's kind of necessary. Without these limitations in place, Robin could be a very degenerate character. Next is Robin's Levin Sword. When I play Robin, sometimes, honestly, I find the Levin Sword to be a bit underwhelming. I feel like it needs a bit more damage and knockback to put it ahead of the curve. If they were to make Robin's Levin Sword a little bit stronger, I could see her special mechanics moving up just a bit more on this list.
Again, and it catches rolls. It's the grab.
It's going to be the F-tilt offstage.
He's got it 122%. Avoids the arc fire. You see it forward again against the spike. Dunks him into the blast. So that's going to be Jewel.
As far as Little Mac's KO punch goes, I can't really give it a rating. I was tempted to put it in second to last, but after I thought about it, I realized that it really just depends on who you're fighting and how good you are at not losing it and actually being able to connect it. In the number 10 spot, we have Wii Fit Trainer's Deep Breathing. If she has a completely fresh deep breath, her damage output is increased by 25%, her damage intake is decreased by 10%, her walk speed is increased by 20%, her initial dash, and traction are all increased by 13%, her airspeed, fall speed, and gravity are all increased by 20%. If the move is completely stale, her damage output is increased by 20%, her damage input is decreased by 10%. Her walk speed is increased by 16%, her initial dash, and traction are increased by 10%, her airspeed, fall speed, and gravity are increased by 16%. With stat buffs this amazing, there's no denying that Wii Fit Trainer's Deep Breathing is nothing to be scoffed at. It is honestly amazing. Combine that with the fact that she can stall in the air with it, and you've got a pretty darn good move. In the number 9 spot, we have Terry's super special moves, Buster Wolf and Power Geyser. These moves are extremely powerful with huge KO power and high range. However, in order to activate them, you have to be above 100%. While these moves are extremely powerful, they really are just balanced by the fact that Terry has a bad recovery and can easily be gimped by characters with a counter or a low hitting move. In my opinion, this is one of the most balanced special mechanics in the entire game. In the number 8 and 7 spot, we have attack cancels. Attack cancels are a large part of Ken and Ryu's combo game, specifically into Hadokens and Shoryukens. Terry's attack cancels are mainly jab and down tilt into all of his specials. And at low percents, Terry can do an up tilt attack cancel into up B. While all 3 of these characters have attack cancels, I decided to lump it in with Ryu and Ken because when you think of Terry, you think of super special moves. When you think of Ken and Ryu, you think of cancels into Shoryuken. Hero's down B command selection allows him to choose a variety of spells. These selections range from stat buffs and movement speed buffs to extremely potent energy blasts. Not to mention Hocus Pocus, which is a spell that randomly lets Hero do any of the other 20 spells in a selection, as well as get a super mushroom or invincibility. However, if Hero can't find the space to get the command selections he wants, he can struggle against some characters who can rush him down. Overall, I think, unless you're extremely lucky, Hero's down B is fairly balanced and takes the number 6 spot on this list. In the 5th spot on our list is Cloud's Limit Breaker. Cloud's Limit Breaker allows him to charge limit when he gets hit, gives out hits, or he can run away and exclusively charge it. When Cloud's limit meter is full, his recovery gains a lot of distance, his cross slash becomes much stronger, and his down B turns from charging his limit to a finishing touch. A high knockback, low damaging move. While all this is great, the best part about Cloud's limit charge is that it prevents him from being camped. Combine all that and you get my number 5 pick on this list. Inkling's Ink is a mechanic that allows her to deal more damage the more ink she has on an opponent. This increase in damage goes all the way up to a 50% increase. It can take up to 20 seconds for all the ink to leave the opponent's body. Also, because knockback is inflicted after the opponent has taken damage, by extension, when the opponent is inked, not only do they take more damage, but they take more knockback. All in all, I find Inkling's Ink to be very solid, and I think it deserves a number 4 spot on this list. Wario's Waft is an extremely potent fart that, if positioned correctly, can kill very early. The non-fully charged version of this move also kills relatively early. This basically means that while playing against a Wario, you have much less than 3 stocks to work with.
Oh no, a Wario with a turnip. Okay, that's pretty scary actually at the ledge. Don't forget Bite also KOs. I know it's hard to land on Peach, but here comes a forward air. Samsora fighting his way back, clawing. Oh, what? Oh, Tweak with the discipline. So good. He rolled in, but he was not. Oh, he whopped again.
Roy's sweet spot is near the hilt of his blade. This pretty much means that he has all the knockback of Marth Tibbers, but it's much easier to land as well as being much more consistent. All you have to do to get the sweet spot is just be close to your opponent. That is so easy. Also, the sweet spot of Roy's dancing blade is stronger than Cloud's limit cross slash. That is insane! Also, this is the actual 3rd place since I can't count.
You never see it coming.
Arsene Joker has everything. High damage? Check. High knockback? Check. Crazy hitboxes? Check. Crazy grab combos? Check. Literally everything kills? check. Normal Joker is already pretty good, but Arsene Joker is just a nightmare. If Joker had higher access to Arsene, it would be so broken. But for now, it stays on the number 2 spot on our list.
Air dodging to the ledge!
Waiting for the third jab, so smart. He's gonna try to go low. Can he spike it? He mistimes it. He grabs the ledge, and with that, MK Leo defeats Tweak to be your 2019 EVO champion. You can dread it, you can run from it, but in the end, MK Leo will arrive in grand finals.
Shulk's Monado arts are, well, they're broken. Equip Buster, and you get easier combos and higher damage output. Equip Smash, and everything you have kills. Equip Jump, and you have the best jump height and best air mobility in the game. Equip Speed, and you have the best ground movement in the entire game. Equip Shield, and you're basically unkillable. Does all that sound deserving of first place? I think so. That's why I'm giving it the title for Best Special Mechanic in Smash Ultimate. As a quick recap, this is my tier list. I hope this video was enjoyable, and I hope you have a great day.